Hello, hello. Good evening, good evening. It's Friday night. That was Graham Bond and Forbidden Fruits, the opening music tonight. So welcome, the five of you that are here: Maida Montana, Becky, of course, Nancy. I can almost guess without looking that she's going to be here. Shah, hey Shah, hey Shah. Somebody said there, hello from Missouri. Stay frosty, even though the quarantine. Hey, how you doing? Who was that, Marsha again, right? Let me get the comments up. That's how I'll be able to see a little bit better at the moment. Can't see everybody who's here. So Friday night, what's this? 5 nights in a row now. We've been live and 5 folks watching, 4 thumbs up. So who's here? Almel. Well, hello, Almel. Nice of you to make your entrance at the beginning of tonight's proceedings instead of diving in 2 seconds before we go off air. But welcome, Almel. Who else has we got? I did see Heidi from Disabled and Preppings in the house. You got 1,000 subscribers yet, Heidi? Becky P, Nancy. So as usual, we've got 5 thumbs up, 5 viewers. We're doing pretty good at the moment. Yeah, hashtag Shah. Uh-oh. Your tooth's hurting? That's not good to know, Nancy. But I'm doing well to make you. You've been tardy, actually. You haven't been around for the last few nights, Almel. We had a bit of a depressing start to yesterday's proceedings, and I think sort of midway through we were all pretty much, you know what, let's just make the Kool-Aid now. Let's drink it and do a live Jonestown, Thrift Town mass suicide live on air. But somehow we redeemed it and got back to some laughs and jokes and some very inappropriate humor towards the end. Or maybe that's why you've only got 6 folks watching so far. Maybe some of them got upset, or maybe Sharebear's got a pineapple lodged. You're welcome, Nancy, and we do. There's an awful lot of love with you, for you rather, certainly within the mod circle, and I'm pretty much within the rest of the Thrift fam. You certainly have become a very, very, very strong pillar of, I would say, strength, but a strong pillar of Shah, should we say? There's no other way to describe you other than Shah. We've been live every night this week, Helmel. Yeah, something about that. We will talk a little bit about the Facebook, the YouTube, the censorship that's starting, and possibly why it's being called Chinese flu. Last week it was COVID, the week before coronavirus. Who knows what it's going to be next week? But anyway, back to our little Nancy there. Yeah, you're kind of becoming, I think, a little bit of our unofficial mascot, as much as we've got the kind of mascot corner over here. I have been kind of thinking I should possibly streamline this. I don't know. We're kind of getting a little bit Marsha, joke 'em if they can't take her. Yeah, no, I think most people do. They all kind of realize that it is. Sorry, I'm just reading Almel's thing. But yeah, most people I think that watch this know that it's all lighthearted and there's no malicious intent in our humor. And there is an age-old saying that sometimes you tease the ones you love the most. So there you go, guys. Take into that what you will. So Elmel, nope. The last I got was on the last. I need to cast you. Hold on. Sometimes you think I've figured this shit out. Yeah, so Nancy, you kind of are a little bit of our unofficial mascot. That's why we've been giving you a hashtag Shah. We've even got a little song, as I did a bit of a tease earlier. Hey Shah, you know, the what's their name? Outcast. They did that song, Hey Ya. Well, you know, Hey Shah works just as well, if not better. Hey Shah, hey Shah. Once that's in your head, that's probably never going to leave. Bit like Baby Shark. We could even do Baby Sha 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 Baby Sha Sha Sha. Endless possibilities. But Nancy, thank you for finding us. I don't think we'll ever be the same without you. But there you go. So what are we up to today? I don't know. It's been a very weird day in Toronto, Canada here. And I think for some folks, and we were having a little... okay, so I may be being redundant, and if you all discussed this since I haven't been here, but the whole Tangled... I've not heard anything of this actually, Mal. In some ways, I think what we've been trying to do here a little bit, as much as we can, is distract ourselves as much as possible and try to get a little bit of escape from it, while kind of touching a little bit briefly on there. But interesting. Tangled. That's one of the Disney movies. Surprise, surprise. I think, isn't it? Is it an anime? It's not one of the Pixars, I don't think. But no, I think also I noticed something on Monday night, not long after I did the little announcement that we would be going daily throughout the pandemic, because I've got no work at the minute, so nothing better to do rather than sit around, scratch my nuts, and pull toenails off. I figured, why not come and talk to you guys each and every day. We might well do, Al Mal. We could possibly even maybe have a go at that later. So I do got something a little bit planned and lined up today. But what were we talking about before? I can't remember. Yeah, it being a very, very funny day now. Judy Bell, Maida Montana, Becky Pamplin, and Danielle. We're kind of all in the same boat today, where we just don't really have any motivation. Just wonder if that's the same for any of you out there. Maida Montana kind of made a very good point. It's kind of been a bit of a week, maybe even close to 10 days if you count last Wednesday. But we've been in a stage of uncertainty, and every sort of day or so more fearful news articles make the mainstream, and lots of more possibly misinforming memes and stuff get shared on social media, and there's kind of like no real escape from it. So I kind of suggested, hey, let's all start putting up Halloween decorations. But we've been trying to kind of be distracting, try and have a laugh and a joke, and try and sort of maybe not put our heads in the sand. That would be very, very foolish. But people are getting their information from very, 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 many different sources, and who's to say what's real, what's not? Truth will probably never, ever, ever be common knowledge for anyone, and there's many conspiracies, speculations, and what have you. We can't answer this, and it just kind of adds to further fear, and the fear, I think, is what's keeping most folk in place, or making people comply with what's going on. Currently, less than 1% of the globe has been affected by this, yet the globe is pretty much, I wonder what they're doing in the middle of the Amazon to combat COVID. You know what I mean? And some of these tribes out, Bedouin types in Africa, that don't really sort of interact or have anything to do with modern society or superficial trinkets. They just kind of live off the land and do their thing. Are they affected by it? Probably not. Everything's probably normal for them. It's just in the modern or the Western world. It's well, not the Western world, because it's been out in China, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's mostly in the big structure place. We mentioned also how, although it is only like 1% of the globe, how many of these people affected by it have some kind of celebrity status, be they sports stars, movie stars, TV stars, politicians. Famous people seem to be getting it left, right, and center, but as of yet, we still kind of haven't seen that many people that have actually got it being shared around on social media. Now, I did catch a little local news segment earlier about this guy that supposedly come back to Toronto who had it. He was down in Miami partying for a week, and then he come back and was telling how horrendously sick and ill he looked. But when he did his interview, he looked the picture of health, as though, like, usually if you've been through something so traumatic and sickening as what this virus is, but he looked the picture of health. I mean, he was a gay guy. Not that I'm saying that's anything against him, but he spent some time grooming and making himself presentable for the camera, whereas probably a regular guy like myself wouldn't have gone to so much trouble. So he did put a bit of effort into his appearance, but by no means did he look as though he was sickly. And bear in mind, he's only come back like last week, and for 40 hours he was in cold sweats, in extreme pain, couldn't breathe, couldn't cough, all this stuff he was telling us. Is he, one of those actors that sometimes is required in a crisis situation to read from a script and keep it going? Yeah, poor baby P. She's back to work tonight. So did I see that Sings Along creeped in the audience? Hey, how are you doing, Sings a lot? So only 8 offenders. This is maybe something to do with the notifications, but on Monday, sorry, back to that, YouTube did put a little thing out on their creator section to say that due to the virus, they're sending all their employees home, including those that work within community standards. Same thing with Facebook, they're sending everybody home, and now community standards both on YouTube and Facebook have been handed over to artificial intelligence. Now, we had Hoopties on yesterday, or was it yesterday morning? We did the morning show, and we were talking a little bit how artificial intelligence is been collecting data on each and every one of us, and they've been running our data through various simulations, the sentient world simulation, something I spoke about, something TrueFlix has mentioned also, and how they run our information and data through various simulations to see how we will react. And I believe this is one of those simulations that they have run out many times to see exactly how we act. Now, I did have to go out a little bit and run a couple of errands earlier this evening, just to the High Street Nowhere special, but there still seems to be quite a few folks out in the neighborhood. No real signs of masks or gloves or anything. Still the traffic seems a little bit lighter. I'm sure it's from my church family. But artificial intelligence has been put in control of running things on Facebook and YouTube, and I can't help but notice something. I was chatting to the mods this week that pretty much since Tuesday my views have been much lower than normal. Usually I'm gonna hit around sort of between 80 to 100 plus views. Sometimes some of the they go a little bit closer to 200, but so far I've got a bunch of videos out this week, and not many of them have even got more than 50 views yet. So whether or not censorship is at play in hiding videos, but I did see and hear something about live streams, and in an attempt to kind of combat misinformation, they are blocking live streams for some reason on YouTube. If or not that is true, I don't know, but seeing as we don't have as many like live shows, usually we get 17, 18, 20, sometimes a few more. So only 8 folks, or maybe just the fact that you've all, or a lot of people have had too much TSP for 1 week and decided, let's just give this guy a break for a few days. As I said, sometimes you can have too much of a good thing. So we've got 9 watching now. Will we make double figures? Welcome whoever the 9th person is to have made an entry this evening. But I have noticed that, and also had something on Facebook that was targeted as spam or misinformation, and it had absolutely nothing. It was about Better Call Saul, a TV show that I posted into one of my Facebook groups. I do run a lot of groups on Facebook, and post some information there on a daily basis. And it was an article, it was a review about one of the characters, and this got flagged as misinformation or spam by Facebook. But sorry, we made a mistake. I got a little thing today. I was going to make a picture of it. The cookies in the ration, Heidi, is that what you're talking about? My fave show right now. What's your fave show right now, Almel? This one? This can't possibly be your favorite show. If it is, that's great, but I'm pretty sure you're talking about something else. Yeah, I got a feeling you never stopped watching Nancy. Is it buffering? And this is another thing also that I heard today, that many websites and streaming sites are going to be, I think YouTube as well, because so many people are at home and using the internet. They are reducing the speeds and lowering the quality of videos, so it's only going to be standard definition from now on. Trips here, how are you doing, Trips? Sorry to hear it's puffering. Sorry, I've got a Canadian ration spoon that I was just fiddling with off screen. I'm just realizing you guys aren't getting any hands. Oh, Better Call Saul, yeah. Elmo, so I do run a group on Facebook called It's All About Saul. And I kind of run it since the show started. Saul Goodman was my favorite character from Breaking Bad, and I'm loving this season because he's Saul in some of his shenanigans. Brilliant. I might even do a little bit of binge watching of season 5 tonight. Watch the first 5 episodes because we're halfway through. Trip, my state, that's the thing. Cali went on lockdown. I'm not sure if it's confirmed that Texas is. I'm stunned. I know, Mel. I know, darling. We're glad you're here. But yeah, that's one of the best shows. I actually did finish watching the Righteous Gemstones. Very funny show. I'm not going to say it's very similar to Better Call Saul, but there are kind of a couple of moments in there where it was not necessarily the same, but you can see that maybe they've taken some influence from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And it's some very, very dark humor. I'm constantly buffering. Is that how you keep your undercarriage smooth? Give it a little buffer every now and then. Sorry, you have to know what Texas on lockdown. Didn't somebody say Texas was going on lockdown yesterday, or possibly by tonight or tomorrow it's going to be on lockdown? Ohio, shit's going down there. Lots of photographs I've seen in the last day of what looks to be military hardware or vehicles being transported. Almost certain that it's only going to be a matter of time that maybe by Monday Toronto is going to follow suit. Although I did have a little look in a couple of store windows. Oh my god, there was a convenience store in my neighborhood. It had stacks and stacks and stacks of toilet, like stacks of it, piled to the ceiling almost. I mean, I couldn't see if it was on the floor because I just walked past the window, but it was on like the upper shelf. But they had stacks of it, and that's something I did mention on one of my walkabouts. At convenience stores may be a good place to start looking rather than your grocery store. Maybe you might have to pay a couple of bucks more, a few cents more, but it would certainly be less stressful. Do you know what I'm saying? Haven't heard a thing about Texas, but I've been work all day too. You didn't know? So yeah, people are kind of waking up to the medical martial law this morning, and I'm pretty sure as the days continue to go by and during this whole thing, that more and more states and eventually the nation. I think tonight, 12 o'clock midnight, the border shuts. Canada and the United States, except for I was actually having a little chat to CT and Smitty yesterday. Now CT's a trucker. And he's currently in the States, but he is a registered trucker, so I'm guessing they will be able to allow him back in. But he said that there's no sort of shortage of traffic on the freeways still, but he is kind of living in his cab and stuff down there, and living off of rations in his truck. So I'm not sure if he's going to come back. But yeah, nurses, that's another thing I wanted to mention today. So 12 folks, hello, look at us getting the people in late, fashionably late, I guess. But what's her name? Not Celine Dion, the other one. Don't impress me much. Shania Twain, also referenced multiple times in Breaking Bad. Hank Schrader had a little bit of a thing for her. He wanted her to give him a tuggy, if you remember. But anyway, she's made a song, and you remember back in the 80s when there was the "We Are the World," and in England we had Band Aid. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? The non-profit record, and the profits went into they just give it to shared it amongst the stars and celebrities in the recording costs and all stuff like that, and then what little bit was left over they threw over to Ethiopia. And someone joked it's only a matter of time before Bob Geldof starts singing and ranting about this. And now Shania Twain, she's put out a charity record, but it is for the nurses and it's not a bad thing, the frontline type of folks, but yikes, when people start making charity records, you know it's pretty much part of a profit scheme. That was from Trump this morning and CDC. So that is confirmed, are we, Judy Bowder? You guys down in Texas there are under lockdown. I just found some salt from the Chilean ration review that I did yesterday. Don't know if you got any ASMR today, so it's kind of a little bit hard to get up and motivated today. As I was saying about how crazy the day was, and even though last night I got myself to bed or to sleep quite early from my standards, certainly it was before 2 o'clock, and I slept through to about 9:30, got up, needed a piss, went back to bed, and woke up again at 12:30. But I've been kind of in that heading to work type of mode, and it's kind of a little bit difficult to truly relax with everything that's going on in the uncertainty, and to really kind of, hey, let's just chill out, have a vacation. And I am in my pajamas. There's something very comforting about being in pajamas, I think. I have a friend with like 8 kids in their home. My goodness, that's a lot of kids. Sings a lot. More than 5 people. Lots of kids that people hear, but it is kind of funny. So we are trying to make the most of it. We are trying to have some fun through this. Sings, tell them to get a TV. Yeah, that's like soon as your stitch is out, darling, we're trying for another. Even though I don't think Darcy is in the southern states. I do only have the kind of one generic southern accent, as you all know, but still, guys, the weather was very funny, very, 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 very windy today, like even though it was like supposedly warm, the wind just took all the pleasure of that away. And a little part of me was almost hoping that it would be kind of a little bit nice enough to get out and not feel cold for a few hours, maybe even see a little bit of sunshine, but no, nothing like that. Okay, sure. So I do have something a little bit lined up for you, because another thing we were talking about with the mod crew prior to going live is that your preps, your pantry, what should you eat, what shouldn't you eat. People are advising different things. Maybe, I don't know, I haven't really been paying attention, but Maida Montana happened to mention something about someone suggests that you eat your freezer food. Now, personally, like your freezer food, if the power went out and it is frozen, like it could stay frozen for a few days inside the freezer as long as you didn't keep opening and closing it. Whoa. Big difference in the temperature there. And again, is this something to do with weather manipulation, chemtrails? Is this kind of how they're spreading this? We also went down that dark tunnel about the possibility that if this is a biological weapon, and it does have a genetic target, being that the elderly or the sick, then possibly, having elders only shopping hour at large places like Walmart and Target and such forth would be a very good place to kind of round up a target for that biological weapon, if you see what I'm saying. Judy's where everybody's waiting. Is this weird weather contributing somehow to the virus, or is it somehow contributing to the state of mind that we're in? As I said, can you imagine if this was summertime and it was blue skies and warm, we probably, would be able to sit out in our backyard perhaps. It would be fun, but it's still kind of a little bit winter here. And although this March has not been as brutal as some Marches I've known in Canada, we can't rule out the snow in minus below 0 temperatures. And tonight we're going to be -9. all of our grocery stores have outer store now. So, geez, the weather here is normally cold this time of year. We had an extreme temperature 61 day, below zero the next. Yeah, so it's not just me then is seeing this. This is the thing what I was just talking about, Judy. We've only kind of heard of people that are having it, and today was like the first time I kind of caught a glimpse of the somebody on the news that is allegedly had it, and his story was very, So anyway, I went in the way he told of his symptoms was almost like he had been told what the symptoms were, or he was reading the symptoms. Didn't seem very, very sincere is what I'm trying to say. But something I did plan, and we were talking about our preps and stuff like that, is, I've kind of something that Annie mentioned, that a lot of people are in shock, and a lot of us are kind of in survival mode. The uncertainty has kind of got the anxieties and the concerns and the worries there, and I'm a little bit in survival mode myself, as many people are, and part of me being in survival mode is kind of not eating. And many times in the past I've been in survival mode just because I've been out of work, had no income coming in, and unable to feed myself, stuff like this. So kind of training yourself to eat a little bit less is a good way of survival. And certainly, maybe if you're somebody that's used to maybe 3 meals a day and then snacks in between, then perhaps having to reduce your intake of calories or intake of meals will be something to struggle. Again, because I'm a cook, I don't often very regularly sit down to like a proper meal when I'm at work. I kind of snack on the go. I may make a little sandwich at work, or a little, grab a couple of chicken fingers, a handful of fries here, and sometimes make a sandwich and bring something home to eat when I get in. But very rarely do I sit down to a meal, so I kind of have a little bit of an unusual eating habit compared to normal folk. But so far this week, I've had a couple of rations every few days and sort of snacked in between, and tried to kind of keep my eating to a very, very minimum. And at the minute, I was chatting to the ladies, and what brought this up, that I haven't eaten yet today. And although I kind of feel hungry, I just don't want to eat anything. And the other thing is, I kind of said, that I'm going to possibly be having to living off of my pantry, or cracking open a box of out-of-date rations to feed myself throughout the time that I'm not going to be at work. Because again, the perk of being able to eat at work is part of the reason I don't have groceries, but I do have a pantry. But I'm like, I don't really want to start delving into my pantry. This is for an emergency. And is this me denying that we're in a state of an emergency, or is this just kind of a little bit of the survival skills and the self-preservation? Let's try and, we don't know what's going to happen at the minute. There is kind of still food available. It's not like I've been starving for weeks and days, and, I have kind of been snacking a little bit. I had a couple of these, rations, which are very, very calorie dense, very nutritionally dense, and kind of designed to kind of plug you up a little bit and make you get through until you find your next meal. This is what emergency rations, in particular military rations, are designed for, to sustain you for as long as possible and to fuel you as long as possible. So kind of a little bit that's what I'm trying to kind of do at the minute. And as I said, I kind of don't want to start just cracking open cans and stuff like this. Low, not overcrowded, but pretty full, just lots of sick kids. Where are the sick kids, Alma? Are you guys talking about your work or something? With pneumonia though, odd. Could the COVID be the cover for a pneumonia or an influenza epidemic? I did see something actually about pneumonia the other day, and Annie Bedell actually sent me something about smallpox, and how the guy who invented smallpox somehow kind of had something to do with this. I haven't actually read the article yet. I will do at some point, but she and I have been kind of still in touch since Wednesday night, and I think a little bit, again, something that the girls and I were mentioning, the mods earlier, is how a little bit kind of like spring break was when we first kind of bonded and gelled as a little community. But if anything, now this is a family. we've bonded maybe a little bit stronger throughout this, and some of you have kind of depended on this little daily kind of interactions with one another as maybe your escape, or maybe your only kind of communications with actual people, where we try to kind of interact as much with the guys in the audience and that are watching as we did. I've had 4 chicken nuggets, just not a big eater, horrible eating habits. Oh, Marsha, that's cute. I just can see you there with your little 4 nuggets and you know, dipping them. And how many guys are in pajamas? Just out of curiosity, I know Becky P. She's probably in scrubs, which are a little bit like pajamas. Becky P, could you maybe like get me some scrubs? Very funny. When I was in incarceration, I felt, my God, scrubs are great. That was one of the perks, like to be able to live around, lounge around in scrubs all the time. And I've actually thought about trying to get some for home, is like loungewear. Okay, Judy Bow, Al Mal, they're in their PJs. I'm almost certain Nancy's going to be in her PJs. There we go. Becky P is in sweats. Al Mal, well, sweats kind of count as sweats are almost like the transition to PJs. They're like almost more acceptable to wear out. Although when I was in Cali, loads of people used to walk around outside in PJs, particularly at Walmart after dark. She even picked up her personal belongings and was ready to be fired. Then the chief of staff gave her a call and said because they've been so swamped, they didn't tell them yet. I'm missing something there. In Elmal, are they like, you know, the ones with pink or juicy written on the butt? I don't know why I'm seeing those kind of pants. I'm in purple scrubs. Just like Marie, she liked purple in Breaking Bad, although she didn't wear purple scrubs, she just liked purple, but very nice. But yeah, do you remember a few weeks back, purple vein, purple vein? There you go. So anyway, I don't know if anyone was paying attention to my little pantry stuff or not, but some of you all, you know, maybe you got stuff in the refrigerator. My advice would be start eating that first. Like use up what you got there, any kind of stuff that you got opened or lying around unused. Start eating that first. Get rid of that, and maybe, you know, your long-term preps keep sort of on hold for a while, and who knows, you know, they are saying we are going to be able to go out for you know, essentials, although they haven't you know, the Emergency Act is something they've been talking about here in Canada, but as of the moment they're kind of saying, you know, advising just stay home, social distancing, read the script, repeat the narrative, brainwash the masses. And there are still, you know, it kind of looked like there's still things available in the stores. I mean, the pharmacy across the street that had, you know, cans of soup, ramen, coffee, stuff like that if you need to be. Judy on a roll tonight. Yeah, I had to wear pants, go figure. White pants. I made myself get dressed today. Not at all. Pittsburgh Steelers sweats, tank top and hoodie. Pittsburgh 2. Gift from Iggy, perhaps, Almal, because you're down in Texas, right? Or weren't you from Pitt? I don't know if I'm remembering that right. Jeans until after dinner. Look at you, Maida Montana Lee, laying down. Okay, guys, we're going to have to get up and get dressed. Okay, you can put your pajamas on after dinner, but for now, let's just wear jeans. Everything's normal. Not at all. Okay, I was just wondering about the Pittsburgh thing, but yeah, I'm in PJs and a white V-neck, and also wearing my hat. I don't know why, it kind of keeps me warm. Yeah, I had to. What did you had to wear pants for today, Judy? If you're still in, oh no, you're in your PJs now, but how rude. It is rude, Marsha, very, very rude. Tomorrow I go full military gear, including Calvar. Really? Why? For the martial law, or are you just gonna do some little kinky role play? I don't know. Anyway, so that was what we were talking about, the pantries and stuff. Don't know if you have any thoughts, if any of you guys have started delving into your emergency preps yet, or whether you're just kind of living off of your normal kind of stuff that you would have on hand. I'm ready, yeah, I bet you are. So what I was going to do was make a little kind of ramen recipe live just to show you all and give you a reintroduction to prison ramen cooking, because I do need to eat something today, and I was gonna sort of disabled. A friend of mine was going shopping and asked me if I needed anything, so I asked her to pick 12 packs of ramen. Smart thing, Heidi, and I'd love to see what if you make a no cook ramen recipe. I made banana chips in my air fryer. It was dehydrator mode. They turned out pretty good. Awesome. They would be weird, a weird fetish. Tank girl, you'd be surprised what some of these fanboys are into. Almel. But that was what I was going to plan. I was going to put together a little meal here and show you kind of how out of items that I have in my pantry, I can kind of feed myself very, very, very stress-free, very, very easily, and with little to almost no effort at all. And hopefully, I don't know, we could have a laugh and joke in the process. So I don't know, we could almost do a kind of group thing. Laurie, I made it, picked hubby up, ate 6 at 6, 8, and here we are. Awesome. Did you kind of like schedule your night around this, Laurie? Is your husband watching this evening? If he is, hello, Laurie's husband, welcome. If she lets you speak, blink twice. How many MREs have I got stashed, Almal? Let me go and turn some lights on and I can show you exactly. Okay, let's go for a little walk. Look, there's my PJs, white t-shirt. So here, Almal, I don't know if you see, is 1, 2 unopened cases of civilian Canadian, the Canadian civilian version of the military MREs that you find in the United States. Exactly the same components inside, just different packaging for it. But I paid $35 a case for these on eBay because they were near expiration. So there's 24 MREs here. Then over there is my kind of international one. So I got 2 Latvians, 1 Chinese, 1 American, Portuguese 24-hour ration. That is very heavy. That's about fucking 7 pounds. And 2 Russians. And again, these are both 24 hours and absolutely packed with food. So at the minute, what have we got there? 2, 5, 7. 31 MREs on hand right now. So hopefully that answers your question, Almal. I have 30 MREs stashed. But that was going to say, if you guys had like a ramen on hand, we could almost do a show and tell, do a thing. So I have eaten 2 this week for review purposes and for my daily nutrition. And again, MREs are great because they are very, very calorie and nutritionally dense, and they often, certainly the military ones and the civilian ones, they are kind of fortified. So some of the items will be packed with extra. How many rolls? I got like 3, I think, on hand at the minute. As I said, I can use a sock, or I've got a whole bunch of Kleenex hand naps. And if any of you can remember many months ago last year, although you probably can, it was before most of you were watching me, I made a kind of humorous, satirical kind of joke called the I've got to go to the bathroom bag, the IGGTBB, because bug out bags and all this kind of stuff, inch bags, IGG, I gotta go bag. Only of these kind of tactical preppers have a bag for anything, so I kind of made a bag for needing to take a shit basically. But in there I have like more things than you could possibly ever need to wipe your ring piece. So don't worry about it. It's the lemon pepper tuna one. Who's the lemon? That was the one you did, Heidi, the one you rationed? Oh, you have one. Oh my god, that would... I'm glad I haven't got that one. Tuna, goodness. Ring piece, that's what we call your asshole back in England. Ring piece, I remember that. You remember that video? Yeah, the I gotta go bag. And I was pretending to be, you know, in an emergency, there's only one bag I truly need. Ring piece. You can hashtag that if you want. Hashtag ring piece. And don't forget hashtag Shah. Every opportunity you get, hashtag it. Let's see if we can get hashtag Shah trending. Pierce the... I don't know how you would do that. Pierce the ring piece. But anyway, folks, I was going to put together a very, very simple and easy prison style recipe for you, if you wanted to see. Hash pass ring piece. No, ouch. Anyone? 41 minutes. Look at that. My god, time flies. We haven't really talked about anything tonight, and we've killed 41 thing. Husband just put on 3022 movie on Netflix. He'll be asleep in 15 minutes. Is that because you slipped him a little something in his supper so he could get out of the way so you can have some fun tonight, Laurie? Yes, we would love it. Okay, Judy, thank you for your encouragement there. I should just keep saying ring piece, ring piece, ring piece, Shah, ring piece. Alright, so I do got... I'm talking, you can't hear. Alright, so I've got a few items on hand from the pantry. Now again, it's a little while ago. Anal seepage, oh, okay. So a little while ago, you can remember I put some Tang. I did a little convenience store top up and bought some raspberry and orange Tang. Now you get 100% of your vitamin C from a serving of Tang. So Tang will be my beverage of choice in this particular instant for my little prepper pantry prison type meal. I'm not sure if you can get Tang in prison. I know you can get like the Kool-Aid and kind of Hawaiian punch type flavored powder stuff. So I'm going to put 2 ramens in. I think these are 400 calories each, so that will give me 800 calories in my meal. Trying to distract from current events. Good job. Anal discharge, that's not something you're suffering from, and that's why you're in your sweatpants. But this is what I'm trying to do, is kind of distract you a little bit, as well as teach you some very important knowledge and a little survival skill. So these ones were made from export, and they're hot chili flavor, although they're not as hot as the ones me and TT tried the other day, or the one that me, Jessica and TT also tried, one of which will be going to trip because I still have a couple left over. So we've got 2 of those. The other thing I'm going to add instead of a meat stick is a beef jerky, $4. The no frills, you could probably get cheaper than this, but this is just basic original beef jerky. It's actually not bad, to be honest. Shah. So we're going to throw some beef jerky in. What else have I got? Now I've got some crackers. These are those little veggie crackers. They actually have like 6% of your daily requirement of calcium per serving. One's crushed up. They're going to be like the side thing, and we're probably going to use the crushed ones to add to our ramen. Now, you can very delicately open these and kind of just pour the water in, and they will soak up and hydrate. You only need to add a little bit of water to ramen. Some of you should have watched my ramen recipes by now, you know this. These ones actually do come with extra stuff, but it's not really stuff that I want, to be honest with you, so I could sort of save it and throw it in to my pantry. And that is this like garlic puree, which is very, very overpowering, and you'll taste it for days, and a little bit of soy sauce. But we're gonna toss that to the side. We're not going to need that. Where is the seasoning package? It's there. So we're going to keep one seasoning. Actually, we're going to throw that one aside because that's where all the sodium is. Remember, guys, sodium content is the majority in your little seasoning packet. So you don't have to use all of this. Just use. I recommend maybe using half per ramen, and you can sort of save the other for season if you want to. So we've got 2 ramen that we're going to break open. Now we could cook this in 2 ways. Something I did recently, this is one of the little ramen rice Korean camping food things that I tried recently. There is a video for this on there where you just add water. The reason I saved this, it has a gusset on the bottom and it's like thermally lined, and it's an absolute perfect thing to cook prison ramen in. Okay, but we're not going to use that. I might save that for another day because we might have to throw it away for some reason. But what I'm going to use is a chip bag, or in this particular instant, a shrimp crackers bag. And the reason being, that's the wrong way, and that was why, because it's got some like stuff on the inside, and this is kind of shit that I've been living in on the other day. Wait. Don't trust it, Laurie. It smells bad. Gusset. So yeah, that's why I was going to probably use that one. Chili pack will kick toxins out of your system. Indeed it will. I do make a nice little remedy. I could almost... we'll do that another day. I'll teach you that another day. Or I don't know, we might do it. Who knows? But I was going to use this because it had also the silver on the inside. That kind of helps a little bit, and it did have a little bit of the dust from the other ones. So do you know what, that one doesn't have a gusset, but you could quite easily use this, or even the jerky bag, as let's use the jerky bag, but you can use any bag to do it, but possibly this one's going to be better because it does have the gusset, and gusset is a funny word. So there's the gusset, guys. Can you see the gusset? Needy bad. Guys, you paying attention? I thought you were talking about food or something for a little while, that maybe Laurie was getting something out of her pantry from 1987. And there is actually, thing is about this, there's a little bit of the kind, I did wash it out, but there is a little bit of flavour left over. So we're going to crush them down. So there's one. Now that wouldn't make a very good JJ. So we're using this. The thing is, you could probably replicate that with a packet of ramen in one of the little packets of instant rice that I also have in my I could go and grab one, but I don't want to start delving into this stuff. You could add one of those, and you can eat ramen like this, guys. You can't make a fifi out of not a very good fifi out of a jerky bag. That's it. You can make broth out of the seasoning, and that is essentially what it is, like a broth base. So crush that one up. And put that one in. Okie doke. That's 2 packets of ramen that we're throwing in. Is anybody doing this at home? You need some clove oil, girl. Works miracles on tooth pain. I promise you that. Yes, it does actually. So we're not going to be using the nasty garlic paste. I thought it was cheese at first, and took a bit the first time I saw it, and found out almost instantly it wasn't. Becky P's not home. I know Becky P, although you would be participating. I know you would, not like the other ones. If this was class, I could see Al Mel, possibly Marsha, getting into trouble at the back of the class, maybe writing stuff on the desk and carving stuff out. I could see Judy Bell possibly being part of the band, like the marching band, with a clarinet. Elmo, yes, I'm copying you. Are you really, Elmo? Or are you just saying that to make me feel better? there you can see, guys, we've got our 2 ramen crushed up. It's good actually evenly. I know you are. You've got trouble written all over you in the best possible way, Elmo. So what else we're going to do is throw maybe half of this in now. I could see maybe Marsha at the front of the class with an apple for teacher. I could see Nancy selling cigarettes to underage kids. So we're going to put some of the seasoning in. So we've still got some left. We're going to put that here just till later. Now, where's the one with the... Okay. That's the crushed one. So we're going to crush some of these up as well. Why? Because this is kind of going to just absorb some of the water and just become flavour. But I made good grades. Like, is that how you got the good grades? By keeping your mouth open, Elmo? You know what I'm saying? Hey, sir, could you maybe turn this D- into an A+? I'd do almost anything. I'd even make you happy with my mouth. Anyway, inappropriate humour makes people laugh and trying to make you laugh. So we crushed up our little veggie crackers. And again, this is something you can do if you have crushed up things. Don't throw them away. You can kind of use it for flavour. I had to whack the teacher. That apple is mine. Okay. Shame. I was a good girl in that respect. I have you know. It's usually the good girls at their worst. So there you can see we've got our little thing going on. Now you could add. Actually, I'm gonna put the kettle on. What did Becky say? You could have also used a Canadian beverage bag from the ration. Salt? What are you talking about, salt? So there's a little bit of cracker. I'm the smiley pants, always raising my hand. That's some good smelling jerky. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to throw a few pieces in. But again, we're going to kind of make it small. It's very, very chewy. Hang on. Oh, that didn't work. It took out a prepper baby behind. Are you doing this, Almal? Did you get some jerky and ramen? So again. Okay, some of you guys are having fun. I see, and that's what she said comment. All right, so we're going to save some. You want to eat the... You see? And that's the thing, in the hot water, the jerky should hydrate. I got a bit stuck in my tooth. Okay. So we're not going to bring the bag. Oh, I thought I had a leak there. So we kind of pushed it, poured the water to the about the top of the ramen. So I'm going to kind of push it down, give it a little bit of mix, because we did put some of the seasoning in there, if you remember. Now, what the like, if you were making a broth mix, if you just had this and these, if you crushed these up and added it to that, it would kind of thicken the broth up. It wouldn't make it creamy. If you had some coffee creamer, you could add it to it. Oh my god, I can smell the prison smell coming off straight away. Something about the ramen in a bag. So you see what we've done there? Alrighty. So I'm going to toss that shit bag. I was going to make it in there for you. So let's just zip it up. Zip it up. Zip it up. So we've still got a little bit of jerky left. We're going to use that for garnish after. And I've even got a plate. Look, we're going to pour it out onto the plate for you. Whoops. That's going to go to the side to be put into the pantry. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do, I've got a bottle of water. Low Lucky, good to hear you're in better spirits. If you were near, I'd run over to your house. That's the spirit. We have such a caring little community, really, here at the thrift store. So I've opened up the Tang. God, it doesn't smell anything like orange. So I put about half the bag in the bottle. So now we've got let me see if that's enough. No, that tastes like it needs more. You know what, let's just throw it all in. Actually, it says add 750 mils of water. This holds a litre. So, okay. So we should put the whole bag in. Maybe it's best to kind of put it in two things so it doesn't get clumpy. Can you see all that kind of the tang dust? I always think that's pretty cool. It does that sometimes on the MRE reviews when they put the beverage base. So make sure we get it all. So that's going to give me my vitamin C. So there we've got a litre of orange. Hold on. What, tang in your bag? Yeah, you could. The if you like mix some of the tang powder and you mix that in with like Tabasco or Frank's Red Hot or even Tapatio, that would almost give you orange chicken flavor, guys and girls. So I'm going to be getting all my vitamins and all the goodness that comes in tang. Hey Share Bear. That's some good tang. That's some very good tang. Actually can't remember tang tasting that good. But there's a little, I might throw one of these in a little gift. I'm putting together a gift pack for you, Heidi at Disabled and Prepping, and I might throw one of these in for you. I got a few of them. Uh-oh, Laurie, what happened? Is it your husband? I'll be me to a quick call. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, Maiden Matena. 15 folks now. What's the way? The longer we seem to go rolling on for, the more people. I just noticed we've gone for an hour in 3, 2, 1 burp time. I'm sorry I couldn't deliver for you, Laurie. Let's have a little look, see what's going on in the bag. I don't know if you can see. Ribbit's lurking and watching on TV but can't see chat. I'm just trying to see if there's any excess liquid. No, there isn't. So now we're going to get our extra bit of seasoning. And mix that up some more. Now, guys, let me know if you think boiling dried pasta, dried rice or dried beans is easier than what we've just done. Remember, we've used absolutely no utilities. All we added was boiling water, which we kind of stole from the kettle, but we could have just poured regular tap water, cold water in. Hang on. No, I thought there was a burp coming, but there wasn't. So that's what it looks like now. You could eat it out of the bag to save washing up. Do you want me to pour it on the plate or eat it out of the bag? I had to cook up a 2-pound packet of chicken, so after I cooked it, I shredded it up. Very smart, very smart. Was it on the bone? If you still got the bones, throw the bones in a pot with some water, boil that shit up, make a thing, bag it. So you want me to eat it in the bag? We can do that. I bet you've bagged it a couple of times in your over the years, haven't you, Almel? So we crushed up the cracker, as you know, and that will kind of also add all the flavour of the cracker to kind of make it like a little bit of a, not necessarily a sauce, but can you see that, guys? And got a little bit of the jerky there, good portion of ramen. Now obviously that doesn't look very, very appetizing. So out of this whole bag you get 240. So this meal right now has over 1,000 calories plus, oh my god, it's fucking amazing as well. Wow, that flavor, it just took me back. But hot, I've never actually had prison ramen hot before. You know what, I know I said there's a lot of sodium, but let's add more chili powder. I'm going to put a whole packet in because there were 2 and I'm not sure, there is a little bit, so we're going to put some of the orange in as well to add a little bit of a citrus kick. But that is absolutely, and the jerky has softened up, it's not as chewy. I should have put the whole lot in there, to be quite honest. I was going to put it out on the plate, and again I still got these. I can't remember how much the calorie count was per package. Wait, you want to see it plated now? Okay guys, you want it put on the plate? Well, if you've got the means and ways to cook them, Nancy, that is all well and good, but you may not always have the ways and means to cook them. So here it is, guys. That's what it looks like. That's what's left on the inside. You see, it doesn't look very appetizing, I know. Reluctantly, I'm going to have to throw this bag away. I'm not going to save it after I've eaten what was in it and made a ramen noodle. But I mean, you could save it by all means, but I got a ton of these. Wait, okay guys, we did have a little bit of a thing the other day. Do you remember we said how long is it going to be before it starts looting? I think that might have even been last Wednesday, day one of the pandemic. We said how many days. So that is it, guys. There's 2 ramen noodles and a bag of jerky. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of a lot of food for just one person. Like, you could make that stretch, like you could make 2 portions. And also, you know, if you chuck the other jerky on the top like that. Sorry, I'm just bending the camera down so you can see. I'm gonna throw that bag away. I've got so many. I've actually got soy sauce there, so let's use one of the soy sauces. I've actually got teriyaki jerky and bacon jerky. I've got quite a lot of jerky actually, and this is why, because I'm gonna throw the garlic away. Wow, I need some hot Cheetos really. That's the one thing it is missing. And I got 2 packets of crackers. It tastes just the same as jerky, but if it's, you know, not completely soft, but or tender, you know, it doesn't fall to pieces in your mouth, but it does taste just the same. And again, you know, you could put a little bit on a cracker like that, little prison hors d'oeuvre. Wow, that's amazing on the cracker. So there you go, guys. Let me know if you think that was easy. How did yours turn out so far? My goodness, that is some very good eating. You know what else you could do? You can so we kind of got beef, we got veggies because there's veggies in the cracker, and we got a carb, and we got our vitamins. Are you eating your ramen? Actually, I should have put all the jerky in, because that really did soften it up good. And don't forget, you can rehydrate hot jerky. If you boil it up, it comes almost like pot roast. If you had a kind of like mixed vegetables and a bag of jerky, you know what I mean? So what did you think of that, guys? Tell me, give me some feedback. And PP is personal protective equipment, isn't that correct, PP? BB, baby B. Oh, you, Becky. God, why can't I say that? Cases are skyrocket in Vancouver, BC. I mean, it doesn't look great. I mean, it's not going to be very appetizing. But personally, I think, you know, if you guys had kids, you kind of, you know, most kids do like ramen noodles, I think. And we kind of tricked them with putting their favorite treats in it, like I did, you know, with the crackers. You can put chips, potato chips. Potato chips are actually very good in this. And I really, really wish I put all the jerky in now to hydrate, because it just doesn't taste the same when it's really chewy. You should try it, Marsha. I've got a whole I've actually got 2 playlists on no cook ramen recipes. And this is exactly, you know, why I have ramen and things like jerky and the meat sticks in my pantry, because this is just so simple to do. Now, you know, imagine you were in an emergency, the shit had really hit the fan, maybe you were injured, right? And you had to then somehow, when you were injured, build a fire and then get pots and pans, collect some water. This is just going to impede you. Just being able to crush up a ramen and sprinkle it into a bag with a tiny amount of water. Everybody should know this, people, in an emergency. It's fun, you know, if you were out camping. It's also great munchy food if you've ever, you know, got a little bit high, put together a little bit of this. Go and enjoy. If you had, you know, I've rolled it. If you have tortillas, you even put this in a couple of pieces of bread, make a little sandwich, or yeah, if you roll this up in a tortilla, you could make fajitas, you can make enchiladas, anything. And again, if you've got stuff like cheese whiz, if you've got some hot sauce, I just used the very basics. I didn't add anything other than what we had within the, you know, we didn't go and use any excessive seasoning. We just used what the items come with. I've made prison burritos, I've made prison panda express, I've made all sorts of, just seriously guys, go check out my no cook ramen recipes. A lot of good ideas there, a lot of great chips. Most of all, none of them need cooking. Well, she has more cases of ramen than me. Thank you, Becky. I'm really enjoying this. I'm actually going to add some more soy sauce. But not the horrible garlic. That just makes it taste shit. All you can taste is that. And that's already starting to fill me up, guys. I'm not going to lie. Maybe because I haven't been eating as much recently. Or maybe because the meals ready to eat have been meals that have refused to exit so far. Did somebody say something about the burp? There's that burp. Marsha, do you watch my MRE reviews? Because they are burp-tastic. Just for the burps alone, you should watch it. Some of them, one I even had 11 burps in one episode. But I kind of don't know why I'm really, really enjoying this for so much funny reason, unknown reason, as much as I am. You know, I could have cracked open a can of Campbell's soup. I could have had a can of chili, some Boyardee. But somehow there's almost a little bit of comfort in this. Mainly because in prison or jail, I didn't actually go to prison. Pretty much the same thing, yeah. Locked up behind bars. But there are some differences. Not that you would notice that much. But this would be the only thing of comfort you would have in your day, would be able to eat something from your commissary, other than the food that they give you, which isn't good at all, guys. And when you think this is better than the food they offer you, that might just kind of tell you what they offer you. But honestly, that's come out really, really good with the beef jerky. And what the hell is that combo? Cindy, that's ribbit, right? You should have been watching. I made a no-cook pantry prison-style emergency prepper meal. in a bag. You can watch the replay. But it's just 2 packets of ramen, some crushed up vegetable crackers, and a bag of beef jerky. It's actually really, really good. Really, really good. Sorry guys, while I'm enjoying my meal, talk amongst yourself. I've been eating more, cooking for mum-in-law and kids, keeping family close. Yeah, it does make me kind of wish that we all lived in the same town, so we could possibly somehow sit this out together, bring all of our kind of preps together to make one big stockpile. The crackers actually really are a good addition of flavour to this. I've still got a pack to have. So basically, I think everything that I had come to about 1400, 1500 calories. Plus we got a lot of our protein. Plus with the tang, we're going to get a lot of vitamins and stuff that comes with that. So it's not exactly a healthy meal, but it's not exactly empty calories, guys. And obviously ramen is also a carb. I think per serving of ramen, like one package has got like 6-7 grams of protein. So the protein from the jerky, the protein from the 2 ramen noodles. There's also calories. Okay, I'm back. I had a phone call. Everyone's getting a phone call. No, I kind of wanted like Louisiana and Texas are places I wanted to see. I thought I had all the time in the world to see them when I was living in the States. Also kind of like the South, like Arkansas, Alabama, places like that really kind of appealed to me a little bit. Like the swamps and the sound of the creatures. A little bit of bluegrass. But wow, I'm really enjoying this meal, guys. Sorry. We love our pups. Taxi is here. Oh, the dog. These ones from the dollar store, they are good, aren't they, Nan? Laurie? You really do follow my little tips, don't you? Wow. Still kind of amazes me that people do, and people have even like written to me say thank you. You've really made a difference to how we prep. I'm not making that up. They really do say that. Oh. Can't believe none of you thought of rehydrating jerky. So there's a cracker. I'm gonna do another one of those little prison style prepper hors d'oeuvres. It might be the toenail from yesterday, but I think it was a piece of cracker. It is a little bit salty. Maybe I did go overboard with the I'm not like salty that it's unpleasurable, but the flavouring. Lamo dope. Oh, Elmel went to eat. Wonder if she was eating her ramen. Who thinks Elmel really was doing this as we speak? I'm only going to take a word for it. No, it isn't. We do need a little bit of sodium in our diets because it helps to produce blood. No. I've been coast to coast on the west. I've been to Hawaii, New York, Chicago, Florida. Pretty much all the Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, LA, San Diego. Tampa, Orlando, Florida. So yeah, I've seen quite a lot of the states. If that answers, there's a lot of burps coming out. Is this sort of liking Marsha? See, that piece really should have been rehydrated. It'd almost been like a piece of braised meat. 3 burps so far. See, baby P keeps count. Hope to get storage bins on the 30th from Walmart. Did your little units come yet, Heidi? Nancy loves salt and Cindy loves Mastiffs, and Marsha loves G. Marsha, I just realised something, darling. You look a little bit left out, sweetheart. Hour and 20. So unbelievably, I've dragged this out for way longer. Oh, okay. I thought you were getting like those storage buckets or something. Who would have thought this would have taken up an hour? But that is very good. I wish I had a piece of bread to make a sandwich. I'm actually getting full now, where I almost like should stop eating. But I'm gonna keep shoving it in. Maiden Montana's eating. Maiden, why don't you try this with the kids over the weekend? You were saying you were struggling for recipes and ideas of cooking. This would be a very different idea. I don't know how old your kids are, but maybe that would be something that they'd like to have fun doing. You could get around the table, get a little production line, all break them, the ramen up and get them to add their individual items. Now, you can actually make these dishes extremely helpful. Like today we added beef jerky and crackers. I could have took a can of mixed beans, the mixed bean salad I had, and using the juice in the can and the ramen, that made like a little bean ramen stew. I heard about the kale and potato. It was the potato that made it good, not the kale. Because you're talking while you eat. Well, I've got to entertain you as well as eat my meal. But that's going to fill me up. I mean, God, the jerky is $4, so I can't really say this was a cheap, inexpensive meal. But maybe this would be a Sunday dinner if you were in a true shit hitting the fan emergency for months and months, living on nothing but your preps. But at the moment, there may be a little bit of access to grocery stores. We may be able to still go out and get stuff. Some of you all still have, stocked refrigerators as well as pantries. Food is still delivering. You can get pizza, Foodora, that sort of stuff. So we're not in like a true food crisis. So that's a little bit why I kind of don't want to start delving into my pantry, because it might not be a real crisis. It's like dinner theatre. So anyway, Maiden, do you think, not just Maiden, any of you out there, I think Darcy and her kids would make a great video making these, because her kids are really funny, actually. And Darcy actually makes good videos. She's a little bit eye candy as well. Got some cleavage going on. But anyway, this is a fun thing that you could do as a family that is also somewhat purposeful. You can eat it afterwards, and you've also taught your kids a valuable piece of survival skills. I actually kind of wish there was more left. So you got one kid who's 25 and one that's 4. That's quite the age difference, Maiden. So maybe the 4-year-old might have fun. I mean, I'm eating dill pickle kraut crisps Nice. You see that? Wish I could eat. Oh, because of your tooth, Nancy. Is it hurt to eat? Really? Just the mixed beans and ramen? That's what I'm saying, guys. You know, a can of beans is like, mixed beans is 87 cents. I got a whole bunch of ramen for 10 cents a package a while ago. You know, that's a extremely nutritious meal for $1. You know, it's not far off. Like, if you added a little bit of mayo and spread that round, you could certainly stimulate the flavors. That's a little bit like adding orange powder with Tabasco, is stimulating the flavors that are very, very, very similar to that you would get at Panda Express. Stroke it off my bath. Stroke what off? This was really good, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I've still got 3 crackers left. Very full. I wish I had the nutritional value of these. But as I said, I put maybe like 13 to 1500 calories in me, as well as a lot of nutrients. And I could make ramen for nearly, if I had 1 ramen a day, I could sit for the next 9 months. Now, that being said, what I have in my pantry now, I mean, I've kind of said that it could last me 6 to 7 months. Now, that's me kind of making 1 meal a day, using maybe 1 or 2 items from the pantry, and maybe having like a breakfast. But if I really had to really stretch it out, you know, 1 ramen a day, 1 ramen one day, a can of food the next day, 2 ramen, you can kind of stretch that out as much as you could. I could probably make it last a year. Hang on. Oh, you know when the burps suddenly have that like regurgitative like juice that comes up a little bit? This is a Canadian military IMP spork. This is what the Canadian military use. That's what comes in the Canadian rations. I don't got any more. I've finished all of my Canadian rations now, so I've got a bunch of these spoons, and they are actually really good. I've actually got a whole collection of my MRE spoons here from all the rations I've tried, and a Prepper Baby. Prepper Babies get everywhere. Mayo and ramen's good, and again, mayo has the, you know, some calories and ingredients, the egg in it. I actually do got mayo upstairs I could have added into there. I've heard of a hookup. And it's got very, very different names in prison: spread, chi-chi, swole. Oh, there? Is that what you're talking about? This was a very enjoyable meal. I'm glad I got to share it with you guys. Maybe I should put a little list of things, and we could have a, you know, cooking class. You can all make it with me, so to speak. And somehow, you know, when we finish it, we'd all be eating together the same thing. If you want to see that, you know, we've got some days ahead that we probably will need to find something to fill the content for you all if we are going to go daily. Check Discord. Hold on. I see them. Cabbage chips. There they are. That's what Cindy Harden's had them. Hey TCSP on Shah. That was Nancy. She comments on Discord. Also, Nancy, butter and ramen. OMG. What's fancy? The spork? I could probably send you one, Maiden, if you'd like. So I finished all my crackers. So I got what, 6%, 12%, 18% of my daily calcium from the 3 packets of crackers. Shah. Come on, everybody, let's give it a shah. So I got one last mouthful. I've cleaned my plate. If you were my mum, Maid in Montana, would I be getting dessert? If Alma was here, would you be making me happy with my mouth? Because I finished, not with my mouth, your mouth. Never mind, you know what I meant. Butter and ramen, yeah. Fuck yeah. Peanut butter and ramen. Didn't you, has anyone seen my vegan prison pad thai recipe? I bet not one of you has. Baby P will have, I'm guessing. So there's my meal. Done and dusted. I did. Yes, disabled and prepping. That was the one you could have showed to the guy. Do you remember you had a viewer that asked if I did vegan recipes? That was the one. And brilliant. Thank you, Heidi. But I made it in a beef jerky bag. That's 2. Dang, I kind of do want another one. I'm not going to do it though. No, it'd just be another hour of me chewing ramen. So I don't know if you guys had any fun or entertainment or learned anything this evening, but hopefully it did provide you with a little bit of a distraction. I'm not sure if we're 7-ish. Marcia, oh, there's a conflict in the burp adjudicators. It's kind of like, you know, when they go, he wanted vegan nut sacks. You can go and piss up a rope, Heidi. Although I guess they are technically vegan. I don't put any meat in there. Not sure. Not sure. Holy shit. I shouldn't have chugged all that tang at once. Vegan nut sacks. Are they vegan? Because you have to say vegan like that. You can't say it in like, yeah, I'm a vegan. I happen to be vegan. All right, guys. So I've got my nutrients, some vitamins. Actually, it's made me feel a little bit energetic. Oh yeah, there were cookies. Maybe the cookies had some egg or something in them. Yeah, that's gonna make my stomach kind of be a bit no tang, Becky lol. Yeah, I do really want another ramen, like a seconds of that. I'm not gonna though, guys. Have I got anything else I could eat quickly offhand? I mean, I could have like now if I really wanted to, I have a granola bar. I could make a cup of tea. I do have to be careful on the burp front because I could see some, maybe not projectile vomit, but regurgitative liquid seeping out Oh, yeah, the tang was a little bit chugged too fast. Could we get it into double figures before we leave? I'm still kind of like trying to get the last little bits of the ramen. Well, when you're talking about no tang, seepage. Ooh, yeah, sometimes you get girls with seepage, not in a good way. But yeah, we don't want any seepage. There we go. We kind of beware the VERP. What's the VERP? There's cracker crumbs all over the place. He's going to backwash into the tang. There's no tang left. I finished all the tang. I'm just wondering if there's anything I could have for dessert. This quick and easy, but no. I mean, I could, to get my 1800 calories, eat one of my emergency cookies. I'm not going to puke, made in Montana. So, what would you give me as a rating for that little bit of meal that I threw together for you out of my pantry? I did make that the other day, pretty similar, as it happens, but with a meat stick instead of a verp is vomit and burp. I got you. Yeah, we're not going to be doing that. I do want to roll a little, because after you eat, you do need a smoke, right? And I think I am going to try and sign it off, guys. What we got? 37. We can maybe bring it up to the hour 45 mark. That seems to be about the usual time frame for some of these live feeds throughout this pandemic time. I don't know if this has been an enjoyable experience for you this Friday or not. There was a 10th little burp. Did you hear it? So we did get to double figures. It is the weekend. I'm not sure what presentation was lacking. I'll fucking present you in a fucking body bag, and not a fancy one. It'd be like a cheap dollar store garbage sack that fucking splits. I'm not going to do that to you. Ribbit. 10. Dessert is going to be the smoke. I'm going to enjoy that off air. I might even make a little cocoa of my own. Oh, I could have made the banana bread. I keep mentioning to have that for my breakfast. Maybe we'll bring it depends on what time I get up. We might bring morning a coffee with tea in the morning tomorrow, as it is Saturday. This was what I'm saying. It is the weekend. I do got a first entire weekend off I've had in, I've had a Friday and Saturday, but never the full thing. Here's Shadow Fox. Hello, Shadow Fox. But what entertainment we can bring over the weekend still remains to be seen. We are going to try and bring you the Thrifty Bunch moderators round table thing on Monday, all being well. But Saturday, Sunday, we do have to fill with some kind of content. Maybe a 24-hour ration mukbang. No, I don't know about that. That could be kind of potentially fun, also potentially hazardous. I'm not sure. We could possibly do that. But I do want to kind of use my international rations for kind of video review purposes rather than live feeds. But we could possibly have another cookout. I did say maybe we could put a little list of ingredients of things you could need or things that you have on hand, and we could do this again. But maybe not tomorrow. That would just be too repetitious. I'll give it a 10. Thank you. Double M. So yeah, we've got to figure something up for the weekend. But we're trying, Saturday and Friday nights you need kind of fun stuff. Maybe Sunday we'll get back to seriousness a little bit, unless anything crazy shit, some crazy shit happens between now and the morning or Monday. The looting is going to be interesting to watch what's going on in San Francisco. If anywhere else, I got a s'mores kit. Cool out time. Oh, I wish I had a s'mores kit. Is Toronto 1 hour ahead? No, 3 hours, Laurie. We're Eastern, you're Western, right? So 3 hours. Cookout time. I know what you meant, Cindy. Cool out time. Pandemic Shah. We could have a Shardemic special. Saturday Shardemic. How does that smell? I don't know what Saturday Shardemic's going to be all about, but it kind of sounds funny. I don't know. I'm just trying to kind of fill time up now to get it to the 1 hour and 45 minutes. I mean, there's absolutely no obligation for me to do that whatsoever. It's just kind of a little bit of an OCD thing right now. So guys, give me some information, some input here. Help me out. We are a team. 11 folks. What was our high point today? Oh snap, what time is morning coffee? You'll get up, I'll get up for it. I mean, I don't know. I kind of trying to get myself into a falling asleep at a normal time, getting up in the morning. It was 11 p.m. my time. The other yesterday, was it yesterday we did it? I think it was. Yeah, it was at 11 p.m. my time, so that would be 8 a.m. your time. I mean a.m. It was in the morning. God, I don't know what I'm saying now. You get what I mean. I'm making isolation cocktail, salsa water, tangerine energy, emergency, and cranberry juice. It's 9:41 there, but it's 10:41 here. So I don't know. I'm not going to promise coffee with tea in the morning. Just be up and see if it is or not, and that's all I can say. Laurie, we're kind of making this up as we go. I don't want to kind of like force myself to have to get up, but it would be nice to kind of get up, have my tea, maybe have the banana bread. We'll figure it out. 3 minutes to go. All right, guys, start thinking about saying your goodbyes to each and everyone. I'm pretty sure many of you. How's the Discord been going? After you've been having like you guys hanging out there. There's also the Thrift Fan Clubhouse as well, but I think the Discord is where most of you guys kind of kick it after the show and chat amongst yourselves for hours to go. So I'm glad that's kind of serving a little bit of a purpose. And yeet, yeah, it used to be the thing that kids said here for a while. Yeet. I don't know what it meant exactly, but I did used to hear them say that yeet a lot. I'm gonna, well, how am I gonna get the cinnamon bun, Laurie? So good, kicking up the vitamin C take. Yeah, good night everyone, stay safe, see you tomorrow night. You may see us tomorrow night or even tomorrow morning. We don't know yet. It might even be tomorrow afternoon. We're in Becky P's pocket. I was gonna try rapping, but couldn't think of anything. So yeah, good advice, stay safe everybody. Well, I'm sort of in the middle, huh? Yeah, I think you're always going to be in the middle wherever you are, Nancy. Cha. How about a video to make bat soup? It's pretty easy. If you had a bat, just dip it in, like, you know, as you'd make any soup, just replace bat for one of the other ingredients. Love that, Becky and Knight. Oh, it's so cozy in the pocket, isn't it just? So that's it. Bat in a bowl. We could have made a bat ramen. I actually like bats. They're really cute little creatures, and not at all as scary as people like to make out. Whether or not they taste good, never tasted one, but who knows? So guys, there we are getting close to the 1:45 mark, so we will be seeing you all again tomorrow, Saturday. What are we in now? Maybe the 11th day of this pandemic. Almost lost count now. My high point was seeing that robin in your yard. You mean this wasn't the high point? I was upstaged by a robin in your yard? Bat ramen sounds tasty. No, bat ramen. No, bat ramen. No, bat ramen. And on that, guys, thanks for watching this shit video production live for TSP TV. See you tomorrow, guys. Till then, keep it thrifty and stay safe.